you'll pass 2 Botticelli fresco paintings on the wall.
These paintings were done around the year 1500, but Botticelli's maidens look very much like colorized versions of the Parthenon frieze. It shows how the ancient world was reborn during a period we call the Renaissance. But first comes the 1,000 years in between, the Middle Ages. The Madonna of the Angels, by the artist Cimabue, from 1280. Welcome to the medieval world. During this age of faith, most every church in Europe had a painting like this one. Gaze into Mary's eyes. Her face is generic, with none of the individual details that might bring her personality to life. Altarpieces like this followed the same formula. Somber iconic faces, stiff poses, elegant folds in the robes, and generic angels. The Grand Gallery, starring the Italian Renaissance. Gaze down the gallery. It stretches more than 3 football fields long. It was built in the late 1500s to connect the Old Palace with the Tuileries Palace. The Grand Gallery displays much of the Louvre's Italian Renaissance art collection, some masterpieces, some not. As you walk past painting after painting, notice that many are quite similar. Think of the distinct style of Italian Renaissance painting. The Louvre has the greatest collection of Leonardos in the world, 5 of them. Look for the neighboring Virgin of the Rocks and John the Baptist. Leonardo was the consummate Renaissance man, musician, sculptor, engineer, scientist, and sometimes painter. He combined knowledge from all areas to create beauty. There she is, up ahead. It's the Monalisa. Lisa?
She stands alone behind glass on her own false wall. 6 million heavy-breathing people crowd in each year to glimpse this, the most ogled painting in the world.
Just follow the crowds. With all the masses, it's the only painting you can actually hear. And with all the groveling hordes, you can even smell it.
Thank you, Mr. Steves, for that unforgettable image. Now approach Monalisa and jockey for a good viewing spot.
Monalisa by Leonardo da Vinci, painted from 1503 until 1506. Leonardo was already an old man when Francis I, King of France, invited him to join his court and live in France. Determined to pack light, Leonardo took only a few paintings with him. One was a portrait of Lisa del Giocondo, the wife of a wealthy Florentine merchant. When Leonardo arrived, Francis immediately fell in love with the painting, making it the centerpiece of the small collection of Italian masterpieces that would, in 3 centuries, become the Louvre Museum. He called it La Gioconda. We know it as a contraction of the Italian for My Lady Lisa, Mona Lisa. Mona may disappoint you. She's smaller than you'd expect, darker, engulfed in a huge room, and hidden behind a glaring pane of glass. So you ask, why all the hubbub? Let's take a closer look. Like any lover, you've got to take her for what she is, not for what you'd like her to be. The famous smile attracts you first. Leonardo used a hazy technique called sfumato, blurring the edges of Mona's mysterious smile. Is she happy? Sad? Tender? Or is it a cynical supermodel smirk? Every viewer reads it differently, projecting his or her own mood onto Mona's enigmatic face.
Monalisa. Woo! Workout.
Michelangelo's Slaves, carved from 1513 to 1515. These 2 statues are by Earth's greatest sculptor. Bridging the ancient and modern worlds, they are a fitting finale to this grand museum. Michelangelo, like his fellow Renaissance artists, learned from the Greeks. The perfect anatomy, twisting poses, and idealized faces look like they could have been done 2,000 years earlier. These 2 may be slaves of the museum, but you are free to go. We hope you've enjoyed our walk through the Louvre.
Merci.
Au revoir
and
bon voyage.